Yeah, you're saying it right. Your boys for prize picks. Put in $5. Win or lose, you get $50 back. It's free bread, man. Go ahead and get the free bread at Prize Picks, baby. Use code CDotty when you're making your account. CDotty. YouTube. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Prime Dotty. Today, we got family secretly films killer, then captures something shocking. Now, I don't know if this is a family member, but we're about to do some deep digging. See what charges he need to get on that nigga. So yeah, on the road 25,000. You're gonna get a crime video every day at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Get into it.
What is he taking out? He's taking out. He has gloves. He has gloves in his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else? The blanket.
Oh my god, that is my blanket.
When 19-year-old Miya Marcano goes missing, it isn't the police who uncover the biggest clue.
Damn. Took down the fine, bro. Come on, man.
But her family. In fact, it was through their own investigation that they would not only uncover a suspect, but it was Miya's family who, through their own determination, eventually caught the culprit on camera. In 2021, 19-year-old Miya had just started her second year at Valencia College, where she was pursuing an associate in arts degree. She was balancing her education and employment at the Arden Villas Apartments in Orlando, some 200 miles away from her close-knit family in Broward County, Florida.
Damn.
She also lived at the same apartments where she worked. Though they didn't know to be concerned at the time, Miya had recently asked several of her family members if they could come to Orlando for the weekend to see her. When no one could, she instead decided to fly home to Fort Lauderdale for a visit. Though her family was excited to have her back home, there was a chilling reason Miya felt like she needed to get away. Not knowing what was about to unfold, her aunt Simone later recalled this.
So, would it have been better if they would to her?
I felt like it was a call for help when she asked us all to come this weekend and no one couldn't make it. I feel like it was a call for help and I wasn't there for her.
At 5:06 p.m. Friday, September 24th, 2021, Miya sent a text to say she was waiting for the Uber to take her to the airport before she would fly home. After this, she suddenly stopped responding. All calls to her phone went straight to voicemail, and all text messages said that they weren't delivered. Given that Miya was incredibly close with her family,
I would have thought she probably got on the plane, dude, because you get no service when you're in the plane unless you buy Wi-Fi.
And kept in near constant contact with most of them. They
that's
likely
Wi-Fi.
noticed something was wrong within mere moments of it happening. However, it wasn't until a few hours later that her family became certain something was amiss. Her grandmother and grandfather later spoke to a police officer and tried to explain her sense of urgency at the time.
I would say about 6 or 6:15. My husband and I left our house to go out to dinner. I said, strange, Miya hasn't called me. I called. And the phone just started calling mobile phone. So I figured it was in the area we were in. It was downtown. So I called again. Same thing. My stomach started to hurt me. I'm not psychic, but I can always tell when something is wrong. Because I wouldn't call Miya more than twice and she'd not answer. Even if she has to say, Mama, I'm doing something. Mama, can I call you right back? So
good W, Grandma, man.
And I waited and there was no Miya.
When Miya never got off the plane, it confirmed her family's worst fears. Little did they know things were only going to get more twisted from here. They reported her missing.
W Grandma too. She went to the airport to find her baby. Waited for her.
Family members called 911.
I'm calling to find out if I can have a wellness check, please. For the address? Correct. I just wanted to know if an Uber picked her up or not. And then from then, her phone has been completely shut off or dead. We're not sure. We had a friend go over, but they're knocking on the door. Nobody's answering. I just want to make sure that she's not there.
Okay, I mean, I can get a call center for a deputy to go out there, but a deputy is going to do the same thing. He's going to knock on the door, and if no one answers the door, he can't break down the door.
This call and lackluster response from police would set the tone for the investigation. An officer eventually did go to Miya's apartment at Arden
Knocked
Villas,
and left.
but there was no answer when they knocked on Miya's bedroom
Y'all
door.
dumb, obviously.
When they tried
That
to
means
open the
something's
door,
wrong.
They found it locked from the inside. They then headed to the window from outside. Please note that the police department made redactions to the video, blacking out what the officer saw inside Miya's room. When they went around the front of the apartment, the officer was met by Miya's cousin Kaylee, who, after realizing that Miya's location was turned off on her phone, decided to take matters into her own hands and start looking for her.
No, she's definitely not in there.
She's not in there?
No.
Oh, why did they say they blocked what was in the house? I thought they found some shit.
Like, you couldn't see inside?
Yeah, no, I saw inside.
Did you see like any bags?
I saw 2 suitcases under her
Oh,
bed.
under her bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's...
I think that was always there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that...
Did you see like a teddy bear on the bed?
I can't remember now.
You want to go?
It was...
Brings it. If she was fine, she would
Really? Yeah, the room, it looked clean. Does anything look out of place?
The window, yeah. Open the window. Yeah, you
Come on.
Yeah, like he opened it.
Ultimately, the officer left. Law enforcement would fail to recognize the urgency
They're
of
not
Mia's
showing
case
it, phony.
until later, perhaps only when it was already too late. With this less than helpful response from police, Mia's cousin Kaylee looked elsewhere for help.
And the security guard, Jay, was here. And we approached him, asked him if he knew anything. And he said yes, that he was here when the police were there. And we said, okay, like if you could please just accompany us so you could tell us about what happened when they were there.
Because they knew Mia's door was locked, Kaylee and Jay headed to the window that the officer had looked through.
Once we heard that the window was unlocked, we automatically knew that that was off because my cousin had installed the window locks on all of their windows to prevent anyone from opening it from the outside, especially with them being on the first floor.
Sure.
When we went up to the back, he showed us the window, and we, of course, tried to avoid touching anything because we didn't want to interfere with anything. He did mention that he saw...
These niggas are the real deal, the damn Scooby-Doo crew, nigga. What the fuck? They over there want gloved up, not touching nothing because they didn't want to add fingerprints on windows and shit. These niggas is lost.
Fingerprints, and that he took some himself with some tape, because when he asked the police officers to take some that were there earlier, they said that they were not going to because it wasn't that type of case, I guess.
Later, the security guard would allege that when he tried to hand over the fingerprints, the deputy actually laughed and said, "This isn't a high-priority case." However, this allegation has never been proven. Jay's immediate frustration for how the scene and Mia's case was handled was palpable.
And now I'm getting mad because one of y'all deputies came out here, did not do the job that he was supposed to do.
He said, this is not that type of case, man.
I should not have had to deal with the stuff that I did to have an officer come out here and look me in my face and tell me to keep the evidence that was lifted off of the windowsill. Oh, a couple weeks from now, maybe we'll need it. No, you're supposed to take that now.
As strange as it was that the locks had been removed from Mia's window, it was even stranger that through the window, Kaylee could see that Mia's bedroom door had actually been barricaded from the inside by a small bookcase. Then she noticed something else that would later become integral.
While we were back
What?
there, I was looking at the parking lot,
I'm
the woody area behind with the fence. We were like, why is there a chair behind the fence? He said, oh, that's been there for a long time. And I was like, it's kind of weird, though, because the placement of it looks directly into their windows. It's kind of at a slight angle. So that was a little bit concerning. But he was like, no, that chair's been there for a long time. So I was like, okay, no problem. While we were back there, he mentioned another thing that was odd to him was that most people in the guest parking lot don't park, like parallel park, in this one corner, which made sense to me because there are parking spots that go straight there. So if you're parallel parked back there, they can't get out. So he said what was weird to him is that there was a large tire track.
This all seemed to hint that some awful fate had befallen Miya, but what exactly remained to be seen.
Into the apartment, we all put on gloves and again asked Jay to come with us just to...
What the these niggas are dead ass doing their own investigation because these bum ass weak ass cops that's stealing our tax money not doing their job.
He, I guess with the name security, he made us feel more secure having him there. We went into her room, avoided touching anything, and we immediately noticed that her room was in a disarray, very out of character from Miya.
However, even more shocking was the sight of something still in her room.
She has her decorative pillows, her sleeping pillows, and then, of course, the king of the world, her Teddy. So Teddy usually sits right on the bed if he's not going with her wherever it is that she's going. If she's going to work, there's times that Teddy goes to work. Every trip, Teddy goes. Teddy's been on vacation with other people. Teddy has lived his...
Bro, okay. Listen. I understand she probably passed. That was her teddy bear, but hey, the teddy bear is not a fucking... It's not real. Stop talking about it like it's a fucking real thing, bro. Talking about Teddy this, Teddy that. Nigga, it's a fucking teddy bear.
His life.
With this in mind, her family knew she wouldn't simply have
You
left
saying
the
Teddy
bear
like it's a
behind.
nigga
Teddy
name.
was still in her room.
If Teddy doesn't do this,
meant
man,
one
then
thing.
Teddy does. Sometimes
Miya
Teddy go to
hadn't
work.
left. She wasn't not
Nigga,
answering
what?
her phone, and her phone wasn't simply dead. She had been taken. But the teddy bear wasn't the most concerning thing discovered in Mia's room, as Kaylee explains.
When we walked in, the cubby that was blocking the door was in the walkway, and there was her chain was busted. She usually wears 2 chains, one that says her name, and then a second one that has a heart pendant. So I know the chain is the heart pendant one because the pendant was missing.
Yeah.
She don't got no like ex-boyfriend or some shit. Like, what is it? She don't. I gotta type in with the ex-boyfriend.
Miya one would have 2 separate pieces. So we saw that her bangles. She has a lot of
A
bangles.
lot of these niggas, that's some fine. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, what's her name? Miya. That's some fine shit, bro. That nigga probably couldn't find nothing better or couldn't find no shit at all. Now he crashing out.
Pendant one because the pendant was missing. And the Miya one would have 2
Nigga
separate
get no
pieces.
hole.
So we saw that her bangles. She has a lot of bangles, and they were given to her as gifts from like old family friends. So they're really sentimental for her. So to see them on the floor was a lot. To see them bent that way, I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong here. Then we also noticed the blood on the pillow, and we were thinking like, of course, you look at it and you're like thinking, well, maybe it could be old.
Or could be makeup,
we're like,
or
well, she would have tried to get that out, or
crazy.
she would have at least put a pillowcase on to cover it up, because you're not going to be sleeping on a naked, bloody pillow.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit concerning as well. After that, we continued to look around the room and found little bits and pieces that just kind of indicated that there was some type of struggle. The bed was moved. We could see the grooves in the carpet were different. They were here, and then the legs were pushed off. The bed head was kind of crooked. And then while examining underneath the bed, someone flipped over the rug. She has a blue furry rug, and found a box cutter. When we saw that, we were like, okay, that definitely can't be Mia's.
The box cutter would turn out to be an important clue, as would the item they found in the trash, a single rose. Already feeling like Mia's disappearance wasn't receiving the kind of urgent attention they knew.
What does that rose mean?
The rest of her family traveled the same day she was reported missing to gather at the Arden Villa's apartments to continue the search, knowing that this was the last place she'd been seen. They would soon have a shocking and disturbing interaction. It's unclear exactly what happened in the moments prior, but one of Mia's family members began recording when someone else showed up, claiming to also be looking for Miya. The person recording kept their phone either in their pocket or their hand covered the camera, as we can't yet see what was happening until later. We can, however, hear the mysterious person talking with various members of Mia's family, including her father.
I'm too old.
Serious boy.
Tati knows our relationship. I promise you, nothing like that. Tati woke me up out of my sleep to come in to see if I saw anything, because we didn't know you guys were here. You're not hearing about this for the first time. Yes, I was home.
Text messages?
Me and her haven't talked for like a few weeks. Like I told you, I tried to call back. I'm older than her, so I don't even have her number now. All serious.
How you don't have her number now, but you haven't talked to her in 2 weeks?
I haven't talked for like a few weeks. Like I told you, I tried to call.
How you try to call back, but you don't got her number?
Older than her, so I don't even have her number now.
You're caught, buddy. No, I'm writing your charges now. You're done. Book this nigga. Where's my book? This nigga. You're booked, nigga. Booked 1st-degree murder, premeditated, disposal of evidence, hiding a body. Even though we have not found that body yet, but hiding a body. What else can I get him? It don't even matter. You're getting the tortured in life. That's what you're getting.
The man speaking is 27-year-old Armando Manuel Caballero. Armando worked as a maintenance man at Arden Villas, and he met Miya when the two became co-workers. In fact, he'd started at Arden Villas right after Miya, around 2 months prior to her disappearance. Now, around 3:45 a.m., approximately 10 hours after Miya was last seen, and though he lived at a different apartment complex, Armando was unexpectedly back at Arden Villas. This obviously struck Mia's family as odd, but the entire interaction would only become more concerning.
Where's her roommate? Because I heard you had a recent conversation with her.
Though it isn't shown in the footage, Simone, Mia's aunt, witnessed something fall out of Armando's pocket when he first got out of his car, something that looked like a key fob. This would turn out to be crucial later.
Yeah, I'm seeking her wall, and I dropped off the back end because I was involved.
What?
Other than that, it's just work. You never went in the apartment to fix anything Before I have, yes. We had to do all the apartments.
But I know there's a lot of stuff, because I set up the...
Little do he know he talking to his daughter murderer. If he knew that, he would have. My nigga Marlon would have whooped your ass, Armando. What the fuck? He would have whooped your ass, boy.
I set up certain
And
things.
I seen you move.
Yeah, and I seen you already too. I seen you.
Trust me, bro. I got all good vibes. I'm not like that.
Nah, but
I wouldn't even came out here.
Yeah, but from what I'm hearing, I didn't hear nothing good about you yet.
Really?
I promise you.
What Armando didn't know was that because Miya was so close to her family, they immediately recognized him as someone she told them about. And because of what she told them, they were likely suspicious when
You
he
didn't know that, did you, bitch?
showed up at Arden Villas.
You're sending her text messages like that, like trying to tell her, express your feelings for her.
As a regular thing, when the property was...
How is it a regular thing if you just said that you're older than her? Why is it a regular thing if you're expressing your feelings to her? Why is that? How is that a regular thing?
Why'd you cash out for that amount of money?
She said she had to help you.
She had to help me? My daughter would never tell you that.
On my soul, she told me that.
She would never tell you that.
On my soul. She said that.
But you just told me that you haven't spoken to her for so long.
Yeah, because that was a while ago.
That was a while
Cash App
ago?
was this week.
That was a while ago?
I'm in her Cash App. That was this week.
You see, Miya had complained
You're
about
cooked.
Armando, though he told her
You're
family
cooked,
he
buddy.
didn't have her number and claimed to have last spoken to Miya a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I caught on that too. I caught on that quicker than them. You're done. I'm a detective though. They're not. That's why they didn't catch on. I caught on to that. The second you said it, you're cooked.
It would be revealed that that wasn't even remotely true.
Once he said that, nigga, I would have decked him right in the nose, start stomping on him. I would have just start whooping his ass right when he said that.
Miya often took screenshots
Nigga,
of
you
the
basically
things
just
Armando
told him
was
yourself.
texting her and sent
I
it
would've
either to
whooped
her
your
family
ass,
members
boy.
or to her friends. This included when, in the week before she went missing, Armando sent her a random Cash App payment for the amount of $600. Though Miya declined the money, she sent a screenshot of the message Armando included with the payment to a group text with
And she
other Arden
declined
Villas
it? Wow.
employees, titled "Off the Casa."
Wow, bro. Bro, she declined that bitch, bro. She could have took that shit and never talked to him again. Still, even though he would have found her, but still, bro, like, that's a good girl, bro. And just because she don't want your ass no more, you do this. Like, bro, watch who y'all dating, bro. Watch who y'all talk to.
Armando
It
wrote
seemed like
to
she
Miya,
didn't even talk to this
"Mama's
nigga.
good
I don't
morning.
know.
I don't want you to feel any way about me giving you this. Like I said from before, you grew on me. And I feel I didn't have too much of a reason to be in your face unless I was making a difference. Because I'm just a man, and that's how I see it. From hearing you vent about your fam situation and hearing about how you're not able to live your life fully because of the difference in responsibility, and from the first few times I heard that, I've been planning and wanted to bless you. But it's not much, but it's yours. Enjoy it however you like. I don't want it back. Don't send it back. That was money I was putting up from turn to spend on dates or gifts for you. But I'd rather just give you the money so you could do what you actually need or want with it." Her friend responded to the screenshot. "It just sucks that he works with you because I would keep it.
Sir, that's not a screenshot. She just copied and pasted, my nigga.
But if you don't do what he wants, he gonna act crazy." Mia's friend likely had no idea how true that was. Armando had an interesting explanation for the cash.
Nigga, she said it to her friend. Obviously, she knew it was true. The fuck? Come on, EWU. Talking about she didn't know how true it was. Nigga, she told her friend he gonna act crazy. Fuck, he gonna act crazy. She actually believes that.
Because I would keep it, but if you don't
fuck.
do what he wants, he gonna act crazy. Mia's friend
She know that
likely
nigga
had
crazy?
no idea how true that was. Armando had an interesting explanation for the Cash App payment.
Because her mother didn't pay her rent no more. And when we was doing time, we've been friends already since June. I know Rashid seen me hurt and Rashid chilled. There's nothing there. I never came after hours. I never bothered her.
Did they take a statement from you earlier on?
I just found out she was missing.
You saw her today?
Just found out, but I found out a few hours ago.
And you saw her today?
At work, yes.
Have you done any work inside that apartment?
Not recently.
Same day? He said he saw her today?
So who's the maintenance person that was in the apartment yesterday? Or 2 days ago? Somebody was maintenance.
You had to be there recently because you told me that you bought the fan there. So you were there recently.
This is an integral question. As Armando was in maintenance at Arden Villas, he had an assigned key fob, which could access every single apartment.
Wow.
And it worked during business hours. For after-hours maintenance, an on-call key fob was shared among the maintenance staff, with the device in the possession of whomever was on call at the time. 3 days earlier, on Tuesday, September 21st, Armando had delivered some fans to Mia's apartment, as there'd been flooding. The maintenance request had been legitimate, but the troubling issue of Armando's access to her apartment hadn't escaped Mia's family members.
So you were there recently? Tuesday.
He can just easily what?
I didn't do work. I just dropped the vacuum on.
Bro, something ain't adding up, bro.
She had a leak from her living room to her room.
Coincidentally, like that just happened.
My guess is when she's not there, he went in there, took the locks off her window, and he used the window to get in.
Happened. You know what I'm saying?
But she had the door barricaded with her. That's the only thing I'm confused about. I don't know. Hey, I see why this is a long video, bro.
That leak just all of a sudden just happened, just out of the blue. Only in her room and then the thing.
I cannot. There's nothing I can physically do to do that.
All right, and the person who went in today too went through the window too. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Come on, man.
Right or wrong?
I do this shit. You go.
Right or wrong? You have access to it.
But it's like, why would she barricade the door
As a
though?
maintenance worker, you have access to the apartment.
Yeah.
And what is your protocol when you're going into the apartments? You guys just knock and go in?
We knock 2 or 3 times. We wait. Nobody answers. We open the door. We knock again. We stab the door. We wait. Nobody answers. Then into the apartment.
As police would soon find out, Armando isn't telling the truth here. Mia's family member, who has been recording this strange encounter, finally raises their phone and captures Armando in the footage. He can be seen standing next to an officer.
As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Miya. We have all seen the text. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her
It's
gave her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
As it would turn out, because Miya had sent so many of the texts from Armando to her friends and family, the police didn't need to pull Armando's phone records to see that something was off.
There's evidence of obsession. You're fascinated with
It's
Miya.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this.
No one's saying that. It takes.
I mean, it's not only from your side.
So we're talking to you who've been going back and forth on text.
That is your family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody beating you up.
If I'm guilty,
But
why would I
you put
come
yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
The entire interaction with Armando out front of Arden Villas was odd, but what Armando said next did nothing but raise suspicions against him.
I've never done nothing bad to me. Never done it.
The videos capturing this incident end abruptly after this, but
I would've
Mia's
whooped
aunt
his ass,
describes
bro.
what happened next.
Right in front of the
I
cop.
would have gotten his car. The officer never searched the vehicle. I don't know if there's procedure. He never looked in the vehicle or touched anything, told him to wind down with nothing. The vehicle took off. They went to the maintenance room. They came back. Armando then left.
After driving away from the officer and Mia's family members, Armando was seen again driving around the buildings with his lights off. One of Mia's family members noticed something else that was incredibly concerning about Armando.
Here I noticed, so it almost looked like he had bronzer on because this area was like, it was puffed up.
What?
And slightly bruised, like reddish. But how it was dark in the night when the light, you could see, you know when skin is stretched to a point that it shines? Because you know with the swelling?
Knowing what they did of his fixation with Miya, his return to the Arden Villas apartments the same day that Miya went missing raised red flags for her family. Little did they know, Armando was hiding another, even more disturbing secret. The next day, there was still no sign of Miya anywhere, and it was only now that the police would begin to take the case seriously, though slowly. Someone from the Harris County Sheriff's Office even reached out to the Orange County Sheriff's Office about Mia's case, and there appeared to be a distinct lack of urgency.
Okay, I mean, it hasn't been turned over to a detective yet because it takes up to 5 business days.
How to consider someone missing?
No, I mean, there is a case number already attached to this, and there is a case. I'm just saying that they don't have it assigned to somebody. But that does, if we make contact with her and we run her name, we know she'll be missing because she's in the system as missing.
So who normally has? So you have a missing person division?
This is considered a missing person, and they're not open today. They'll be open on Monday.
As investigators finally started to look deeper into the case, they spoke with Marlon,
What
Mia's
the
father.
fuck?
So my
That should be 24/7, 7 days a week, even Christmas, man.
She was in the bathroom, or maybe she was now getting home. Either she was in the bathroom or she was now getting home, and the person was under the bed. Okay. The person was under the bed, and that's where they had the box cutter and everything. And Either when she came in, they startled her, or when she was coming out of the bathroom. Understand? The person who we suspect is somebody who works here. I heard about it. Okay.
Her family also gathered again.
The suspect is somebody who works here. I heard about it. Okay.
Her family also gathered again, this time inside Arden Villas.
Police officers came and they said they weren't going to do anything.
Haven't looked at no cameras or nothing yet?
It's an adult.
Hold on, wait. Why the fuck is there no cameras or nothing yet? Nigga, it's an apartment complex. Y'all can't pull up no fucking cameras? Am I dreaming? Nigga, he went through the window. Y'all don't have no outside cameras? Like, am I tripping?
Amber Alert because she's over
Am I
18.
dreaming?
But according to that officer, this is a typical college room that doesn't seem to look obstructed or tampered with. He said they weren't going to do much until a couple days pass and it becomes more.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
As news of Mia's disappearance spread, calls flooded in as people tried to give any helpful information to aid in the search.
And what do you want to report?
We just got like a message saying that a girl had been missing since like 5 p.m. yesterday, and me and my roommate around, I'd say maybe like 7 p.m., and we heard like a girl and a guy, and they were screaming, like, but it didn't sound like good screams. It sounded like really bad screams. And we actually went downstairs to see if we could like find anything, and there we heard like a woman and a man screaming at each other, like arguing in an apartment on the first floor. I don't know if this would be helpful information, but it
would have been when it was happening, but
last night. And after hearing about a girl going missing today, I figured I should report it just in case it could help.
All of this was helpful, but Mia's family was already sure they had a suspect, Armando. Mia's family had been right. It did appear that Armando was obsessed with Miya. In one screen-recorded video, it can be seen that Armando was sending her long, multiple messages.
Oh, hell nah. Bro, that's some fine shit, but bro, I don't give a fuck what that shit feel like, my nigga. There's no reason you should be sending
recorded video.
A girl fucking 5 essays, nigga.
Seen that
I promise you she didn't read this shit. Nigga, I would have been like, I don't know why you sent all this, but I promise you I'm not reading this, nigga. I'm not in school no more. I'm not in reading class, nigga. I'm not reading this shit. Are you fucking insane? What the fuck is this?
Sending her long, multiple messages.
You know what I'm doing? I'm reading like a sentence from each essay, and now I'm calling it a day, bro.
Part of these messages say, quote, "You drew back, which I understand, because you a woman and you don't know me that well, so you need your boundaries. I know I come off strong and crazy." After screen recording the messages, Miya sent the video to a group chat, writing, "When does it stop?" The issue of Armando's text messages would come up again and again as police began interviewing her friends.
And Jasmine, can you tell me what happened in a group chat between you, Miya, and the other individual?
Yes. So basically we have a group chat where we talk about like normal things that are happening. But in this chat, there's just been multiple times where Miya like will send over screenshots like we do of like people that we're talking to or just things like that. Sometimes complaining or just having issues with like Armando sending her long text messages out of the blue, emotional messages to her even when she was barely giving him like real responses back, sending her long emotional messages, getting upset at her for not responding to him, all types of things. And from the start, her making it clear that although she did find him attractive or whatever the case may be, she has never necessarily wanted anything serious with him. They have never dated. They've never been involved in any aspect like that.
That detail didn't seem to deter Armando. In one text to her friends, Miya wrote, "Then if I don't respond, we know he getting the paragraphs ready."
I always found it weird with that because I'm like, she's young, like she's 19, she's a freshman. I always found him to be weird because I'm like, this girl is like a young girl.
She's 19. This nigga is 27, and you fiending like that, bruh? You get no hoes, nigga. I'm just now realizing, nigga, she's 19 and you're 27, and you fiending like that, bruh? Nigga, she just graduated high school 2 weeks ago, and you fiending like that, and you 27. You're about to be 30. You're getting tortured.
girl. She's not trying to be tied down with you, like, you know? And she made that very clear to him. So that's just the thing for me.
Did they ever have any altercations with each other or any kind of
fights?
Yeah.
They never had any fights. He was very much a like messagey type of person. Like I never had any situations in regards to like her telling me like, oh, they got into like actual altercation. She did tell me that recently he tried to like make us not a scene, but like be petty towards her at work. He said it in a way like it was drawing attention because people were kind of like, dang, like why'd you say it like that towards her or whatever. And she was like, in the chat we were talking about like that's crazy that he's trying to like show out and call you a weirdo and stuff when he's the one that sends you long dramatic text messages every single day.
Miya sent a text to the group chat saying, "Y'all, I'm confused," and a screenshot of a message Armando sent her saying, "I don't got any more patience with you. You honestly showed me the type of person you are. Like you said, people fall for your looks. Well, I seen the type of person you are. I don't got the energy or the fakeness to tolerate giving myself to you, even as a friend. We two different.
How do you know that you?
Armando also texted me.
How do you know that you was?
Just leave me alone.
Hold on. How do you know that you was sending it in a group chat? What the fuck? How do you know you was talking? Nigga, do you got a snake in a group chat? Please leave me out of your group chat gossip. I don't need nobody indirectly affecting my job.
We two different kind of people. Armando also texted me a quote, "Just leave me alone if you don't have no intent to show any significance in my life."
So Tuesday would have been the 21st. So
The
September
21st.
21st was the last. And can you tell me what that message said?
Yes, so we were talking like normal. She said, I saw Armando just now. He had to bring me the blower and he was like, I think I cleared my mind enough and I'm ready to follow you back on Instagram. Because like I said, he would get overly emotional and obsessive over her. So like if she was posting and doing things and not talking to him, he would get upset and send her messages about that. So then she sent a screenshot after he left of what he said. And he basically said, everything else burnt out, but respectfully, I can't lie. I would have loved to taste you or see how it was at least once. And she said, y'all help me, what the F? Like asking.
So you're telling me you never even hit this and you acting like that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bro, she probably just told this nigga one time she like his shoes or some shit. Now he can't get enough. You like, oh really? Oh my gosh. I'll get your number. Fiending ass nigga. She probably just gave it to you on some cool shit. But nigga, you is fiending, nigga. Grown ass man.
What she should say to that. And I was like, what do you say to that when it's coming from a crazy person? Right. And she said, no, for real. I'm like, whoa. And I said, I would be like, let's keep it cute, friend, because I don't know what to say. And I basically said that because I was like basically like deflecting from the talk because you guys said like we're just friends.
Armando replied to that text from Miya saying, "Right, whatever, you out-cooled me. I really didn't take it."
She really said, friend. Okay. Hold on.
Noel, why you trying to be so cool? I get it, it's over. Knew it was you making it seem like I'm making a mistake. So all the way through, I'm a...
Just holler you at work, bucko?
Let it go, just holler at you at work, bucko. But it seemed that Armando didn't take her rejection well. Mia's friend Rashid shared a similar story.
He started sending her, like, not like just like paragraphs. It was, I could swipe and read it. And it was so much to read that I was like, dang, like,
Exactly.
I didn't obviously read through all of it. But
Exactly.
She showed me like some of the stuff she was saying in some of the paragraphs and how like, and I was telling her like he's crazy, whatever. And he was buying her all this stuff. He was giving her stuff like every week. He got her like these
he was trying to buy that
her
pussy, bro.
room, the blue flowers.
Some girls that don't work on.
She had, I guess he overheard like a conversation that she wanted or something, or I saw it on her phone or something.
In another screenshot Miya shared, Armando wrote to her, "And you ain't showed one concern of even giving me the opportunity to gain ground with you. If anything, every time I felt like I got closer to you the next day or the next hour, you acting colder. This ain't the grounds to the beginning of something good. I haven't been nothing but frustrated and confused the majority of the time." Miya wrote back, "Yo, I spoke to yesterday."
But I don't argue like this, bro. Word two, bro. I do not argue, bro. Like if we arguing, bro, it's towards the end of the relationship. I do not argue, bro. This nigga loves this shit. Once she say like, can you just chill, bro? That's it. Like, okay, cool, bro. I don't even care no more. Like, Nah, I ain't gonna lie. When that little friend shit, it would have been over then. I'm not. It would have been over then. This nigga do not care.
Perfectly fine. Then I went out like, damn, why do you always have to act like this? Like, can you just chill? Armando texted back. If I have no reason to act like this, then you tell me one situation where you did any gesture to validate me, small or big, to make me feel special. A bagel, a lunch, a real compliment. At least a real statement of what you think about me, because I'm really
Nigga, you want her to take you to lunch? You want her to get you a bagel? Nigga, you want a compliment, nigga? Are you a fucking thought? Are you a thought? You want her to wine and dine you with a bagel, bitch? Shut your whole ass up.
Starting to think you cold-hearted. Armando's obsessive behavior wasn't just over texting, as Rashid.
This nigga want to get wined and dined with a bagel.
Explains.
One day I opened up my apartment when Miya was staying there, and he was outside doing something. And I remember because I opened the door to open the door for her, and I was gonna lock it behind her, and he was there, and she was like, "Oh hey," he was outside my apartment,
just standing there.
Now he was working on something, but like it just progressively got weirder and weirder, and whatever. After like time started passing, and she started seeing like who he really was and stuff. She told me like she was kind of nervous that he had the keys to her apartment, and one time she mentioned that she left her house one time. The AC was working perfectly, and she came back a little while after, and the AC was broke. She was stuck on 79, and I know like the maintenance people, like I know it's easy to mess with the AC for me, and he was the on-call person, and so I'm thinking that he like messed with the AC because she would have to call the emergency line, which he has to respond to because it's after hours. So she said that she didn't want to call him, so she went to get another maintenance guy to come fix the AC.
Mm-hmm. As Rashid shared, Miya had a good reason to be worried.
Some of my other friends have told me like he said stuff to them like she found one of my other female friends found him like in the apartment. He was like, "What are you doing in here?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm fixing something."
That's probably why she be blocking her door, because she's scared this nigga just gonna come in there when she sleep to try to at least give her some peace of mind when she sleep. Yo, this nigga is sick, bro. And this girl's in college, hours away from her family.
I remember she had said something to her. I think it was like along the lines of,
I don't think my daughter going to college, my nigga.
I just want to like take a nap in your bed or something like that.
Not gonna lie.
Weird, you feel me?
Hopefully I'm in a position where she don't even need to go.
After speaking to another resident at Arden Villas, it seemed that there was a pattern in Armando's behavior.
I had just gotten out of the shower too, and I heard knocking and maintenance. I didn't want to answer it because I didn't put in a report. And then I heard the door open and I heard it close. And then when I went out, they were still out there knocking, but I did hear the door open and close. I got dressed, opened the door, asked him if he needed anything. He said, "Did you put in a report for your dishwasher to be fixed?" I told him no.
Perhaps finally realizing that Armando needed to be investigated.
Take that nigga. Why did this nigga have the keys to the damn city? Like, this nigga can open up any door? This weird ass nigga? Like, come on, bro. Nigga, you can't be just giving niggas the keys to the city, bro.
How would you describe Armando?
I would say, and obviously for the dumbass niggas, I know it's not a key to the city, it's the key to the hotels, like every apartment, every hotel, whatever the fuck they at.
Very peaceful guy, very easy to manage. You know, I was very happy with their performance. To keep eye contact, sometimes avoid eye contact. Now all this going on made me think, why sometimes when we're talking, he trying not look at me? I don't know.
Although he was known at work to be private, Armando had been in a bit of trouble before. Years ago, after setting off firecrackers in his college dorm, he lost his football scholarship.
Right there, you should have sent him to jail for life. Nigga, you're dumb as fuck.
As a result, with his job at Arden Village.
He lost his football. Nigga set off firecrackers in his college dorm and lost his football scholarship. Like, you are dumb as hell in your dorm. You can set that whole bitch on fire.
College dorm. He lost his football scholarship as a result. With his job at Arden Villas,
watching too much cost in that, boy.
Fresh. Friday, the same day that
not the AMP house.
Lemuel noticed that Armando's body language and behavior was off when he received his work uniform.
But then when he left, he was shaking, even without we knowing all this was about to happen, you know.
And you've never seen that before out of him?
No.
Noel, who worked in maintenance with Armando, also saw Armando acting strange on Friday.
So he was more quiet, you thought?
He was more quiet.
Was that?
I asked him, "Yo, you okay?" He said, "Yeah."
You said the change you noticed was that he just seemed more quiet.
With this in mind, investigators take a look at the records of who used the maintenance key fob. While the officer only turns on the audio of her body cam a few seconds before the following footage begins, it appears they're talking about Armando.
My biggest concern is he has right now a fob that can get him access to every apartment because he's on call. So I was going to have one of my employees just erase the fob, but the only way to do it is to literally go to each and every apartment door with the cancel key, because unless we have the physical fob, we can't just erase it. You have to go to each individual lock.
Or how about y'all find that nigga and arrest him?
Report, and then load that to the computer, and it gives you the lock history of everything.
The worker from Arden Villas eventually gets the report on the lock history for Mia's apartment.
If you got to do all that, arrest the nigga.
This is that.
The fuck?
That's my on-call maintenance fob at 4:34.
So that's before, correct?
Nigga, say you have a warrant for harassment. Fuck.
But I don't understand why he would have been there.
Is it Armando?
Yeah.
To most, this would seem like particularly damning evidence, but it only got worse. While checking out an apartment that was set up the same as Mia's, though not her actual room, the officer asks a chilling question.
So he accessed her room at 4:30, correct? There's no service supposed to be in her room or anything like that, right?
And I don't remember if I saw that he left with that fob. She would have been home, so if he was just hanging out, now I'm like worried. What if he was literally waiting for her? They've got my head all stirred up. I can't.
Because of the record of the key fob, it was
No
clear
security
that 30
camera,
minutes
though.
before Mia's work shift had ended, Armando had entered her apartment, and it also seemed that he had never left, or at least there was no record of him leaving. Mia's key was then used to never
He look like him right here in police uniform. What the fuck?
left,
Am I tripping?
or at least there was no record of him leaving. Mia's key was then used to open the door at 5:06, and as the worker suspects, it looks like Armando could have been waiting for her. By reviewing the security footage, investigators spotted Armando driving a golf cart near Mia's apartment, which coincided with the times the maintenance key fob showed it was used on her front door. They also uncovered what they believed to be the last image of Miya as she walked to her apartment just before she went missing. While there was the possibility of an innocent explanation, on Thursday, September 23rd, Armando had asked Miya if she would have time to talk about something mysterious on Friday, the day she went missing. Miya had replied, "What do you want to talk about?" Armando wrote back, "It's nothing big, but if your day is busy." "It's whatever," Miya replied. "I'll let you know how my day goes." However, there was one other piece of evidence that didn't quite fit. 2 hours after Miya went into her apartment, Armando called the Arden Villas office staff and asked to be led into the front gate as he was responding to a maintenance call that was made around 7 p.m. Just 5 minutes later, someone used Mia's key fob on the exterior lock of her apartment. It would be nearly impossible for Armando to have been at the gate of Arden Villas and then 5 minutes later unlocking Mia's door. The question was this Miya herself, and was the timeline of her disappearance a few hours later than her family believed? Or was this evidence of her kidnapper using her key fob? While the police may have still been collecting evidence, Mia's distraught family members already felt certain that they knew where to look for answers about Mia's disappearance, with Armando Caballero himself. While
Look at these
continuing
niggas
their search
taking
for
notes
Mia's
and shit. These
appearance.
niggas.
With Armando Caballero
These niggas taking notes. They standing
himself.
in it.
While continuing their search for Miya, some of her family members decided to begin surveillance of their own,
Stalking
and they
at
would
me.
soon uncover some of the most chilling evidence yet.
I happened to overhear Armando's address when he was giving it to the officer. And I said, I'm going to do a pit stop. Put it in the GPS, and then we continued to his house. He didn't see us at first. I made a U-turn, and I went into the parking lot across the street from him. Here's his apartment complex. Here's my vehicle facing him. That's when he started touching the indentation of his car. He tried leaving the complex last night with his lights off, and he hit another vehicle. He was touching, so his vehicle is dented.
It became clear to them that the police hadn't searched Armando's apartment yet. It was then that they once again began recording, this time catching something truly shocking on camera.
He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in his
gloves.
hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
Oh.
As
the
they
fuck?
watched,
What is that?
Armando
What the
carried a
fuck?
blanket that had once belonged to one of Mia's family members and that had since been given to Miya into his apartment.
He knows what we look like, and he's looking at it. He's looking to see.
Oh,
if
he's
we're following
oh,
him or
he's
whatever.
weird.
We're the police.
Mia, Kaylee, call them back.
I'm videotaping.
He's weird.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
hit the
videotaping
curb.
him. That's why I can't
Yo, this
call.
nigga dad can't drive? Nigga, you just damn, nigga.
I'm videotaping him. That's why I can't call.
As unsettling as this discovery was, the incident with Armando was far from over, and it would only become more chilling. Later, Mia's Aunt Simone shared with detectives what had happened after they stopped filming.
I started trembling. I couldn't drive anymore. I just pulled in. Another Hispanic guy got out of another car, 2 cars down, came across the street. He videotaped the truck, videotaped me. He took pictures of me. He took pictures of my license plate. Then he told me, get out of your truck. Get out of your truck. I didn't get out. He laughed. Crossed the street. He went back, and he does this again.
This behavior, along with the discovery of Mia's blanket, seemed to solidify, for her family at least, that Armando was behind Mia's abduction. However, this interaction with Armando would come back to haunt them in the most chilling way. Armando then left his apartment, but returned 10 minutes later. When police were able to find Armando and tell him that they wanted to look inside his apartment, he surprised everyone. He gave permission for Mia's family to search through his apartment while the police stood by.
Is it like a quilt type of blanket? Yeah, like a quilt-like blanket-like thing. So if you see it, just let me know. That'll just give more bolster to the search warrant.
It appears that this frantic search was not recorded, but Mia's family didn't find her blanket. It seemed that when Armando left, he must have disposed of the blanket. Either way, no other evidence was found, as Armando wasn't
he got it
arrested
recorded.
or even brought in for questioning. In fact, soon after, he ended up leaving his apartment around 3 p.m.
Got it recorded.
Approximately an hour and a half later, he was officially named as a suspect in Mia's disappearance. But to her family's frustration, he was already gone. His apartment was then secured, and at around 6 p.m., more than 24 hours after she was last seen or heard from, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a missing persons bulletin for Miya. By now, it was becoming clear to at least some that the police knew they hadn't started their investigation as soon as they should have.
Oh, you know, check the report. I guess.
I mean, if they saw the blood and everything, it doesn't take long for.
That was the end of it. Just some miscellaneous papers and stuff. Passport, about 30 euros. Wallets, checkbook. Cards.
It was around this time that calls began flooding into the
she have
police
all her
department,
shit there, and these
but
cops
not
are
to
dumb
aid
as
in the
fuck.
search for Miya, but rather because Armando's friends were calling to complain about Mia's family and their investigation.
Yesterday, they pulled up to my house. I don't know if they were following my friend Armando, because my friend Armando supposedly he was talking to the girl that's missing. I had no idea what was going on. I came to my house, and then some fat bald guy came to my house. He was yelling at my friend, "Oh, you kidnapped my daughter! You kidnapped my daughter!" I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I literally just came from my girlfriend's house. What's going on? I'm confused. He was, "Oh, my daughter's missing. He kidnapped my daughter." And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I'm so confused. And then they just came to my house. They were at my house and just like arguing. I'm completely lost now.
But even Armando's friends had questioned him about his possible involvement in Mia's disappearance.
Yeah. And I was trying to ask him, like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? And my mom was on the phone too. I'm like, my mom was like, "Yo, you sure you didn't do anything? Are you 100% sure?" And I was trying to like, make sure, because that's someone's child that's missing. Yeah. I was like, "Yo, you sure you didn't do anything?" He was like, "Nah, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything." And my mom prayed for him on the phone. My mom said, "If you didn't do anything, God will protect you. And if you did something, you will reap what you sow."
Along with looking for Miya, law enforcement continued to search for the now missing Armando, based on him using the maintenance key fob to enter Mia's apartment a half hour before she returned home from her shift. The search escalated when an even more disturbing piece of information was revealed. Jessica Decker, a manager at Arden Villas, had found something strange.
Then the other thing that concerned me was there was an on-call message last night at around 7:01, and the message said, "This is Tristan Thompson, is on the first floor."
Tristan Thompson, nigga, this nigga tried to blame an NBA player?
Or it's just on the opposite side of the apartment.
Yeah.
And it said the AC was out.
Okay.
It's a female unit, and an officer went over there the evening and knocked on the door, and they didn't call emergency maintenance.
Okay.
And that concerns me because of the timing of the last fob reading, which was 7:16, where her fob was used, but nothing was locked. So we got that on call at 7:01.
Mm-hmm.
He called my leasing manager at 7:11, saying that the gate wasn't letting people in, and she had to talk him through how to manually turn it off.
It was now clear that the fake maintenance call had actually been made by Armando, and the call he made at 7:11 p.m. to the office staff to open the gate on the night of Mia's disappearance had been his attempt to establish an alibi. Police also suspected that since he was probably not actually at the gate, He was the one to use Mia's key fob just 5 minutes later. A press conference was scheduled for 1 p.m. on Monday, September 27th, but that planned media briefing was postponed when a shocking discovery was made. Armando had finally been found, but it wasn't the result anyone was hoping for. His body was discovered in an apartment complex.
The nigga took the easy way out. That's why y'all should have whooped his ass when you had the fucking chance.
In Seminole County.
I felt so defeated, like, you know, this was the person we wanted to talk to, you know, to find out, like, just say something, you know what I mean? Like,
Nothing in Armando's interactions with Mia's family had given any suggestion of his intention to escape justice in this way.
he was way too confident in how he was. He did not come across as discombobulated at all. He came across more like frustrated that we were bothering him.
Yeah, maybe the case.
You understand what I'm saying?
Despite this shocking development, there was still no sign of Miya.
Getting dark again. You know what I mean? It's a little girl, and she's out there by herself. You know what I mean?
I
We don't know. We don't know where she is.
I know.
We don't know if he's done something to her. We have to find this time, Lord.
We are trying.
Tragically,
That's
just
crazy,
over
bro.
1 week after she went missing, Mia's body was found on Saturday, October 2nd, 5 days after Armando was found dead. Mia's body was discovered in a wooded area behind timber-scanned condos in Orange County. She was found with her red purse and wallet, wearing jeans, a bra, and a robe, and a necklace with her name. Her body was mostly skeletonized and bound with black tape around her wrists, ankles, and across her mouth.
Tape?
Due to the state of her remains, a cause of death couldn't be determined. However, there seemed no doubt as to Armando's guilt. Mia's blood and hair was eventually found among some of Armando's belongings. According to Orange County Sheriff John Mina, we're not looking for any other people. We believe pretty conclusively that Armando Caballero is responsible for this crime.
Duh.
And there's not any other person or persons that we're looking for in this case.
Yep.
Given the evidence, including the broken jewelry found in her room, along with bloodstains, police speculate that when Miya entered her apartment, Armando attacked her, and a struggle ensued. Investigators believe he killed her in the room, and then, using her bedroom window, put her body into the trunk of his car. Just 46 minutes after Miya entered her apartment at 5:06 p.m., Armando's vehicle was seen leaving Arden Villas. He then went to his apartment before returning again to Arden Villas for the fake maintenance call. Phone records and GPS data show that he then went to the woods, where Mia's body was later found. The Marcano family eventually filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Arden Villas, claiming negligence in Armando having unfettered access to Mia's apartment. They also filed a lawsuit against the sheriff's office and 2 officers for civil rights violations and negligence, describing the department as failing miserably in its duties. There has yet to be a resolution for the lawsuit. Mia's law has been introduced to impose higher levels of background checks and limitations on the use of master keys, limiting access to private residences, and affording tenants the safety and security.
R.P. Meyer, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That nigga took a good one off the market, bro. She's declining this nigga money and all that, bro. She could, bro. Oh my gosh. She took a good one off the market, bro. That's tough, man. Hey, man, protect y'all daughters, bro. Protect yourself. Watch who y'all date. On the road 25,000, man. Let me know the more crime videos to react to, man. I'm out this bitch.